So, do you know why the Kremlin is the shape that it is and the place that it is?
No.
So it is in a really good defensive formation because you had two rivers. One of the rivers is now underground in a big tube and flows underground.
Mm.
You know that mall right next to the Kremlin?
Yeah.
And the little sculptures and stuff? There's a river underneath there. There used to be a second river there. And there were two rivers, and then there was the Kremlin. It was much smaller than it is today. And it was a fortress because it was easily defendable by two rivers and then just had one side that you could attack. So it's military strategy, good place to be.
Mm-hmm.
It was also wooden, and the walls were initially white. The walls were white. And so the red square was actually red before the Kremlin was red.
Mm-hmm.
Red also in Russian, which you speak, you know it's a homonym for beauty. Red and beauty sound basically the same in Russian. So it's beauty square, beauty red square, red word, yeah. Anyhow, and they expanded from there. There were like a bunch of like traders and hunters that went and traded near where the Kremlin has expanded to today. It was like people settled there. And then they settled there for a long time, and it took a long time before people even moved beyond those rivers to where Moscow now occupies, you know, the Garden Ring and all that stuff. But it burned down, like almost every century, Moscow burned to the ground. And so that has like led to, it was a long time before the Kremlin was not built out of wood, and it burned down several times, which made it hard to keep like historical facts and whatnot. But so it expanded just outward from there, across the river, and one of the big things was like all about how, in terms of architecture, you have the Soviets, you know, they came and they were like, we want to make stuff functional. We're just going to like make everything functional. So they demolished a lot of old kind of pretty stuff, especially like churches and cathedrals, because they're like, religion sucks, yo, we're going to put some buildings here. And then they put buildings here. And then after they lost power, then people were like, wait, no, like pretty stuff is good, let's bring pretty stuff back. But then there was this mayor of Moscow who was like, yo, I want that money. And then he sold up all the empty lots and parks and stuff, or a lot of them, to make money for the city. And sold all this space that was good public space, but now it's like making for the city, traffic's bad because of it. And basically, now they're doing stuff to undo this bad mayor's actions. So they're making stuff into like promenades, like walkways, old roads that used to be just for cars. Now people can go on them and no cars can go. The end.
Then.